How's it going, troops? Jordan here, back again with another Black Ops Cold War loadout video. Today's loadout is going to be a fun movie based one, as we mow down our enemies like grass in the summer. So today's loadout is titled Rambo. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and hit subscribe, and let's jump right in. With this Rambo loadout, we're going to be role playing as the one-man army himself, John Rambo. Because we're basing this setup off Rambo First Blood and First Blood Part 2, our playstyle for this loadout is going to be roleplay. And as we're going to use our survival tactics and heavy weaponry to rack up that kill count, I've labelled today's loadout difficulty as moderate. Starting off with our primary weapon, it can only be Rambo's favourite choice, the M60. The M60 is seen in both films right at the end, where Rambo wraps the bullet belt of the M60 around his left shoulder and proceeds to fire out a non-stop onslaught of lead. So we'll go with the M60 as our primary weapon. But of course, just like Rambo, we're not going to go in bare bones, so let's talk attachments. Our first attachment is going to be the Flash Guard 7.62. The Flash Guard replicates that blank adapter seen on the end of the barrel after Rambo lands the chopper and picks up the M60 from its mount, so the Flash Guard will be our first attachment. Our next attachment is going to be the 18.9-inch Cavalry Lancer. This damaging barrel will help us to shoot down any hostile choppers that move in on the map, which gives us that sense of being a one-man army. For our third attachment, we're going to go with the Field Agent Grip. This sturdy grip reduces both our horizontal and vertical recoil, making our sprayer bullets more accurate and deadly. Next attachment is going to be the Stanag 125 round mag. This box magazine provides us with plenty of firepower before needing to reload, and comes with the extra benefit of increased starting ammo. And lastly, our fifth attachment is going to be the Speed Tape. This grip tape reduces that long time it takes to aim down our sights, and with Rambo always being slightly ahead of the game than everyone else, it makes sense to include this for our final attachment. So now that we've discussed our primary weapon configuration, it's time to move on to our secondary weapon of choice for this loadout. For our secondary weapon, we're going to choose the combat knife. A Rambo loadout wouldn't be complete without his trusty survival knife. Rambo uses this survival knife to carve wood into weapons, cut down forestry, and of course to kill his enemies with, so we'll equip the combat knife as our secondary weapon. We can't equip any attachments onto our knife, so let's move straight on now to our perk setup. For our tier 1 perk, we're going to choose Paranoia. In Rambo First Blood, John is arrested and tortured inside that police station, which triggers flashbacks and his PTSD from the horrific torture he went through back in Vietnam. And it's this reason that Rambo runs from the law and ends up killing all those county police officers, so it makes sense to go with Paranoia for our tier 1 perk. For our tier 2 perk, we're going to choose Scavenger. Wherever Rambo might be, and whatever situation he gets himself into, one thing his survival instincts tell him is to scavenge for any food, water, weapons, and ammo that he can find, so we can equip the Scavenger perk based off this. And for our tier 3 and final perk, we're going to select Cold Blooded. Rambo not only enjoys going guns a-blazing, but he specialises in using cover and the environment to camouflage himself for stealthy takedowns. Whether he's covered in wet mud or wrapped in leaves, Rambo will patiently wait for the right moment to come. The Cold-Blooded perk also camouflages us by removing our heat signature on enemy thermal optics and making us immune to detection from hostile Scorestreaks, so that's why Cold-Blooded will be our third tier perk. Moving on now to our wildcard, equipment and field upgrade. For our lethal equipment, we're going to choose the Tomahawk. Rambo is seen using knives as throwable weapons, as a way to silently and instantly kill his enemies with. The only throwable blade in Cold War is the Tomahawk, and we can also equip the Danger Close wildcard to double up on our hatchets, so the Tomahawk will be our lethal equipment. As for our tactical equipment, we're going to go with a stim shot. In the first film, Rambo is seen healing himself up after crashing through some trees by stitching together a deep cut on his arm, so we'll go with a stim shot to replicate this. And lastly, for our field upgrade, we're choosing the Assault Pack. There's not really any field upgrades that can relate to Rambo, so the closest thing available is the Assault Pack. So now that we've talked about our equipment and field upgrade, it's time to finish off this loadout with our score streak selection. For our first score streak, we're going to choose the combat bow. In First Blood Part 2, Rambo uses a bow and arrow to silently kill the Vietnamese soldiers, and in the first film, Rambo uses a burning rag on a stick as a torch to light his way out of that collapsed mine. We'll combine these two references together by equipping ourselves with the combat bow, which fires burning arrows at our enemies. And for our second and final score streak, we're going to choose the Chopper Gunner. In a scene in First Blood Part 2, Rambo leaps out of the water and hijacks a Soviet UH-1 helicopter, throwing Sergeant Yushin out the chopper and scaring the pilot into jumping out too. Rambo then goes on a flying rampage, launching rockets at the prisoner camp and killing all remaining enemy forces. We can mimic this scene from the film by equipping the chopper gunner as our second and final score streak. So troops, that wraps up my Rambo loadout video for Black Ops Cold War. Next time you boot up Cold War multiplayer, definitely give this class setup a try in game, and as Rambo would say himself, mission accomplished. If you did enjoy this loadout video, then give the video a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it a lot. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, then why haven't you? Hit subscribe right now and also click the bell notification icon next to it, so that way you're always notified as to when I make an upload. If you have any friends who might be interested in this sort of content, then share the video around with them to help give my loadout videos and my channel more widespread exposure. And if you want to see behind the scenes previews of my loadout videos, you can follow me on Twitter at jordanxbrookes for all the latest on there. So until the next video, I thank you all for watching, stay true to me troops, and I'll see you in game.
They drew first blood, not me.